Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. Hi, Deirdre. Hi, Andrea. Morning, Peas. It's a great day to have a great day. So let's do that. Let's get in here and have a great day. Good morning, Catherine Kovacs. All right, we know the drill. Hand on your heart. Slow down the breathing. And then add in the love. Bring love into your heart. It's your best ingredient that you could have in that recipe for a good morning is calling in the love. So breathe in slowly, touching your heart center, bringing the focus there, and exhale slowly out your mouth. The next step when you breathe in is to put a smile on your face because spirit magnifies incredible loving energy. So smile wide, smile at yourself every morning when you get up. Don't frown at that mirror, put a smile on. Think of Marietta teaching us those beautiful, beautiful words of what a smile really is. And then the last thing we do, we hug somebody, bring them into your heart, give them a heart hug, and call them in here. We called in our Sally and Tony. Good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here with us this morning. It's a great day. It's a wonderful weekend day, the last day of May. Isn't that incredible? Today we complete half a year, and boy, did it go fast, and wasn't it wonderful? It's been a wonderful half of a year, and I'm looking forward to another half. So my glass is half full because I've still got a half of a year of this beautiful, amazing year. It's all in our perspective. We can call it a bad year, we can call it a disastrous year, or we can call it an amazing year. And that's what I choose. I choose to call it that. So good morning, Brandy. Good morning, Annie and Grayson. And Brandy, thank you for your affirmations. Deirdre says we're on day 82, and she's done hers, and I've done mine. Miracles are happening to me every day. And Brandy says, I am worthy. That's what my shirt says. Let's see if I can get it on the camera. You are enough. That's what the shirt says. I am worthy. I am enough. I am healthy. Miracles and happiness happen to me every day. And they do. We call that in, you guys, with our words, with our thoughts. Thoughts become things, and words create. So, what are you creating? Are you creating an amazing, beautiful, blessed year? That's what I want. That's what I'm calling in. Good morning, Don Baker. Yes, there is so much to be grateful for. And Don, I'm very grateful that you are with us this morning. One of our beautiful Dr. P's. And Annie, moving in your home, it was a miracle. I remember when it was just a thought, right? When you just had a thought of moving into a more stable home than where you were. And look at you now. Look at you and Grayson all settled into that home. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So, what else is going on? What else is a miracle in your life? Good morning, Kathy Hand. It is a great Saturday. Anybody have any good plans today? And being grateful for our miracles, that's a good plan. Making that happen. Good morning, Auntie Jean. Oh, now we are blessed. We have our Auntie Jean with us. And Susan on YouTube, Susan Flo is grateful for a new day. I am so grateful for this new day, grateful to be alive, grateful to have energy to be able to get up and go and do the things that I do every day. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And Sally is sending Tony her heart hug. She's already hard at work unloading boxes and boxes of crystals from the center. I can only imagine. Ruth and I went crystal shopping last week she was looking for a certain crystal and found it and more. and and the place that we went, the people had the crystal shop in their basement. Sally, you would have loved this. It was wall to wall. There were shelves that just contained so many crystals of all kinds. And there were lots on display, but there were also lots in boxes. And I thought of you, and I thought of all that you're going to have to go through unloading and deconstructing Zenlightenment. But what a blessing to have all of that and to have that energy in your home. I told this guy, if I lived up above all of that crystal energy, I'd probably be floating on the ceiling. I wouldn't even be able to stand upright. There was so much energy there. And Blue Jean, we have our pair of jeans. There's a miracle this morning. We have Charlie Coons, and Deirdre's grateful that she is grateful for all things in her life. That's beautiful. Yes, to recognize that gratitude, because gratitude is so important in life. And Kathy says, my biggest miracle has been my son fighting his way out of the darkness of addiction. I am so very happy about that, Kathy Hand. And Blue says, amazing amounts of water coming out of the sky. I am cuddled up with 3 Labradors. Oh my goodness. Well, good morning, Pocket and Gruffy and Razzmatazz. And I'm sure they're keeping you very warm and cuddly. Leo is here, and Hope Wellington Marshall is here. Hope's not feeling too well, has some kind of chest infection, and would appreciate some healing. Well, you have got it, my dear. And so do you, Catherine Kovacs. I see your message. So I want you both to claim, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. Keep saying that all day long. You're not in denial. There is something there, something bringing your attention to whatever it is that needs to be paid attention to. But say the words, I am healthy, and receive that. Receive your healing, because all healing comes from the inside. And when you start with that attitude and that perspective, you begin the healing process. So I am healthy is your mantra to say today. And Sally says, right now, I had to stop and think. I've been saying miracles happen in my life every day for a while now. However, with all that is going on, I had to stop and think, were there truly miracles happening in my life? And this is what I come up with. All of this is happening for a reason, because what we wish for dearly was some time to ourselves, balance within our lives, and a chance to do what we love to do for ourselves. So if I really had to weigh what was happening in our lives against feeling that miracles were not happening in my life, I stand corrected. This is a miracle. It will bring balance into our lives. And for that, I will be grateful for, and thanks to you, Teri, and this whole family. I trust in my guides and where they are leading us. So yes, miracles do happen in my life every day. Sally, that's so beautiful. And yes, isn't that true, Deirdre? That Sally trusting, that word that, remember when I used to say trust? Sally would groan. Other people would groan. Even I would groan at times. I'm like, not a trust lesson again. But yeah, it is a lesson in trust that what is meant to be will be. And what we ask for, we get. And it's beautiful. And Blue says, Whizzy Bee has arrived to be with us girls. Cuddle Cat and Waggle Butts listening to Teri. Oh, I love that. Hello, all you beautiful fur babies in Vermont. And Cletus is listening. Hello, Cletus. Well, Trooper is snug in his little bed, as a bug in a rug. So he's still snoozing this morning. Okay, so what else is going on? Do you want story time? Because I think we have a story to tell today. Let me pull it up here on my screen so I can read it to you. And y'all might like this one since we've been talking about trust. This one is called Releasing the Future. Anxiety is just repeatedly experiencing failure in advance. That's a quote by Seth Godin. And I never thought of it that way, but I really like that thought. Experiencing failure in advance. There seems to be a lot of anxiety floating around in the world these days. Anxiety often feels like a heavy cloak draped over our hearts, a relentless whisper of what if that steals our peace and keeps us tethered to fear. But what if we reframed anxiety for what it truly is? It is simply repeatedly experiencing failure in advance. When we let anxiety take the reins, we're imagining every possible misstep, every potential disaster before it even happens. We're living in a future that hasn't arrived, suffering over outcomes that may never come to pass. Spiritually, this mindset pulls us away from the divine present moment where God's grace resides. Anxiety, at its core, is a lack of surrender, a resistance to the divine flow of life. When we repeatedly experience failure in our minds, we're not only robbing ourselves of peace, but also blocking the miracles that the universe is waiting to unfold. Dear angels, how can we release anxiety and trust in the divine plan when our minds keep imagining failure? How can we trust that we are held in God's hands, even when the path ahead feels uncertain? Dear ones, anxiety is a shadow cast by the illusion of separation. You fear failure because you believe you walk alone, but you are never alone. We are with you, as is the Creator's infinite love. When you feel anxiety rising, breathe deeply and return to this moment. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air in your lungs. God is here now. Surrender your need to control the future, for it's already written in light. Trust that every step, even the ones you fear, is leading you to growth and grace. Imagine a golden shield of peace surrounding you, deflecting the arrows of worry. You are safe, you are loved, and you are enough. As you navigate life's uncertainties, remember that anxiety may knock on your door, but you don't have to let it in. Instead, invite God's peace, angelic guidance, and the Holy Spirit's comfort to take its place. You are spiritual beings on a human journey, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow closer to the divine. Release the habit of experiencing failure in advance and step boldly into the present moment where miracles await. The angels whisper, "You are a spark of the divine, untouchable by fear. Let go of the future, for it is held in God's hands. Be here now and know that you are infinitely loved." Angels, today I promise to stay in the now moment and release anxiety to receive peace. So we sabotage ourselves, right? When we start thinking the worst possible outcome, when we start saying, "Oh, but what if I fail, angels? What if it doesn't go the way I want it to go? What if it's a total disaster?" So we start thinking along that line, and we talk ourselves out of our miracles. We talk ourselves out of some amazing experiences because of that anxiety, because of that fear of moving forward and thinking already that something has happened that wasn't very good when it hasn't even happened yet. And isn't that like crazy? I think it is. I've done it. I've been there. So I'm speaking about myself too, you guys. There's no judgment here. This is just facts. This is what we do over and over and over again. And we expect a different outcome, right? We talk ourselves out of the miraculous, and then we say, "Oh, I'm not getting my miracle. It's not happening to me." Well, because you didn't allow it to happen to you. Once we stop that cycle of abuse, and it is abuse, abusing ourselves by not allowing ourselves to stay present in the moment and experience the very best that life has to offer, those miracles that come in every day, we're abusing ourselves. We're telling ourselves we're not worthy. In essence, that's what we're saying, that we're not worthy of those miracles. So the key then is to start telling yourself, like Brandy does, "I am enough. I am worthy." And I say those words every day. I wear shirts that say, "You are enough." And on the back of my shirt that I'm wearing, it says that to the person behind me. And it tells them that I'm grateful that they are here on this planet. So we can do that. We can say positive things. We can encourage ourselves. We can encourage others. Or we can go to that worst possible scenario. "Oh no, the sky is falling. If I do this, it's going to be certain failure," right? So we decide, we create with our words, with our thoughts, with everything that we have going on. If we already think that if I walk out that door, there's terrible things are going to happen, so we don't walk out the door. We stay in our cave. We stay as a recluse. So which do you prefer? Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say about all this. Oh my goodness. You know what? You really can't make this stuff up. The Kuan Yin card is trust. Trust what you feel the divine is communicating to you through the happenings around you. There is divine guidance in all things if we know how to feel and look for it through the heart without silencing our intuition with logic. Sometimes we try to make things make sense when really all we have to do is just trust, like Sally and Tony, like your situation. Trying to make it make sense is going to put a whole different spin on it. But like you said, when you go into trust, yes, this is what needed to happen. This is what we asked for. Then you get it. And it doesn't make sense logically, right? For you to close a business that you dreamed of for so long, that you held so dear. But look at what's happening. Look at the miracle of it. Okay, I missed a whole conversation because I was doing story time and talking about trust. So I'll have to catch up on what you guys are talking about. But anyway, I love that message, and I love that the angels want us to focus right now again on trust, trusting in the divine, trusting instead of going into anxiety, going into worry. So let's go to Angels in My Pocket with our little pocket mascot listening in. And we are on day 9. So let me mark that one on my little marker so I can keep up with where we are. And on page 9, there are 3 messages. And thank you, Kathy Hand, for the suggestion to do this together. And I love that we do it together every day. And let me see, I think we had Dixie Cunningham came in. Hi, Dixie. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, and okay, Charlie, put it in the hands of the angels. Absolutely. All right. So the first message from the little book says, Dear ones, finding balance is essential for your spiritual growth and well-being. By nurturing your physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions, you can harmonize your inner worlds and radiate that balance into your relationships and communities. Remember, balance is not a destination to reach, but an ongoing journey of self-discovery and alignment. Yeah, so many times we think of balance as something that we have to do, right? We have to do something to balance out something else. We have to have good to balance out bad. But balance happens when we surrender and we trust that what the universe is bringing to us and the people it's bringing into our lives is going to provide that energy of everything feeling centered, everything feeling balanced. Like when we go into the earth energy and we center ourselves, that brings us a feeling of, oh, now I'm upright. Now I'm not feeling like I'm going to fall over, like one leg's shorter than the other leg and I'm leaning. So we feel that balance when we connect in with nature and with the earth. Second message, we listen to your cries for help, for understanding of why you cannot find peace, and your continued insistence that some force outside of yourself is making your life difficult. Playing the victim doesn't look good on you, and it does nothing to help your spiritual growth. You will never achieve inner peace as long as you continue to throw blame and guilt arrows into the world. Just remember that old saying that when you have one finger pointed out, there's 4 more pointing back at you. So when we start doing the shame, blame, guilt, regret, all of those things, and looking at anything other than ourselves, that doesn't look so good. And it doesn't feel so good either. When we start putting our power in something else or someone else, you made me unhappy, you did this, you did that, then we're giving our power away. Take your power back, right? And through your power, you stand up, you take responsibility for your own actions, for your own words that create your life the way it is. All right, the last message from this page. Understand that what you perceive as failures are not defeats, but opportunities to learn and improve. This resilience helps you to stay motivated and maintain your enthusiasm even in the face of challenges. I want to read that last one again. I kind of butchered it, didn't I? Understand that what you perceive as failures are not defeats, but opportunities to learn and improve. This resilience helps you to stay motivated and maintain your enthusiasm even in the face of challenges. So there is no failure. There's only lessons. And those lessons are our blessings. We can look at them either one way or another. We can look at ourselves as being persecuted, right? That something out there is shooting arrows at us and shooting us down. Every time we try to stand up, we get knocked back down. Or we can say, nope, that's showing me something that I need to pay attention to. This is helping me to understand me. And when we look at it like that, with that perspective, we have the best spiritual growth possible. We grow in leaps and bounds when we have those bigger fires that we travel over and through. And yes, you'll make it through. Sometimes it just seems so daunting, doesn't it? We're like, I'm in the middle of the biggest challenge of my life. Well, I've said that several times in my life, and I'm still here. I'm still standing, and I will continue to stand as long as I'm here on this earth plane. I will continue to rise up off of that floor every time there's something that comes along that knocks me down for a bit. But trust me, I don't stay down as long as I used to. There have been times in my life when I got knocked down that I didn't want to get back up off that bathroom floor. I wanted to just stay there. I wanted to wallow in my pity and have a pity party all by myself. Poor, poor, pitiful me. I don't do that anymore. I don't do the self-destructive, life is so bad energy anymore, because it's only bringing us lower and lower, and we go down that spiral and we go down that rabbit hole. But if we say, oh, there's something to be learned here, there's a lesson in this, and some people call it a metaphor. There's a metaphor that this is showing me about something in life to pay attention to. So everything's a lesson. Everything is a blessing. And we can look at it that way. And we can see life a little bit different. It's not a Pollyanna attitude. It's not saying that there aren't bad things that happen in this world, because there are. We see it. But what are we focusing on? That's the key. What am I going to focus on today? Am I going to focus on how evil and bad the world is? Or am I going to focus on what can I take away from this? And that's what I started doing. Once the angel said, stop asking why. Stop asking. Stop making yourself a victim. Why did this happen to me? So instead of the why questions, ask, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to do with this, angels? How am I supposed to dissect this and see what the true lesson is here? Because there's always a true lesson. We just have to sometimes let it unfold and let it evolve. All right, so we're going into our prayer time, but let's see if you had any reaction to either story time or the reading from Angels in My Pocket, or Kuan Yin's beautiful voice coming in here with that message about trust. And Sally says, nobody said it better than Chumbawamba. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Ain't nothing going to keep me down. And, you know, Sally, that was my battle cry for so many years. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And every time something would happen, and I'd get one of those, oh no, here we go again days, I would say that. I'm not going to stay down on that bathroom floor. Yeah, I got knocked down for a minute, but you know what? I'm done. I'm done being down, and I'm getting back up again. And it is up to us. It's up to us to rise up off of that floor and keep going and keep moving forward and looking at what a beautiful miracle that lesson was. Auntie Jean says that last message is so valuable because once you accept the responsibility for things that have happened in your life, you can feel weighed down, realizing that you haven't failed, you have learned, and you have improved your journey on the path that is yours alone. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Auntie Jean. And Deirdre has given us our daily prayer. And Brandy says, I love you all so much. Between hurting from falling down a couple of days ago and this wicked bad cold, I'm going to lay back down. Love you all. Have a wonderful day. Prayers for all touched by suicide and or dementia of any type. Well, Brandy, darling, we wish you all the best and send love and lift you up. Kathy says, you're welcome, Teri. This book really has some beautiful messages. I've highlighted so many passages in it. Today, I'm hoping to nurture my physical and emotional well-being while attending the Wellness Expo and Farmers Market. I'm going to a farmers market today with Dr. Ruth Anderson and a couple of other friends. Good morning, Joanne Castrillo. So glad that you're here. All right, it is our prayer time. So there's Deirdre's message with our daily prayer. Prayers for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, for world peace, attention to human trafficking, support for all families living with addiction, and prayers for our troops and our United States. Thank you, Deirdre. So let's remember as we go into our prayers to lift up those who have asked today for prayers for healing, like our Hope Wellington Marshall and Catherine Kovacs and Brandy, who are going through some stuff physically. We lift you up, and I want you all to keep saying, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, because that will open the door for the healing to come through. And thank you, Sally and Tony. Prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, for those who live in fear of another, as well as our entire P family, extended as well. May we all see and recognize each other's divine light, and for our troops and lifting up those that are away from family, those that have been deployed. And Sally knows that very well, with your grandson being one of those. All right, and I want to especially bring light to human trafficking. And we've taken on a mission at Angel Speakers, and the next 6 months I'm going to devote to bringing more information forward and shedding a light on what we can do. So on angelspeakers.com, you can go there and find the page, Save Someone's Child. And I put it up last night, along with a way for people to help support that mission so we can get some printed material. I've been talking about this for a bit, and the angels finally helped me to get that all together last night. So please go check it out and share it out with others, because once we start getting some money to help to print materials, then we will have material to share out with others. And I'm taking to heart a suggestion, I believe it may have come from Auntie Jean Lorio, to have that available wherever you may be. You can have it printed in your area, or through, I believe it's Vistaprint. I can put it up there and then have it sent to wherever it needs to go for you to help to share out these messages of what we can do as concerned people and loving, caring people to shine more of a light on this disaster that has happened in our world and bring more information forward so that people can be helped and children can be saved from this. Prayers for Suzanne and her family. And Suzanne has a son-in-law that is deployed. So thank you for that, Kathy. All right, let's go into our hearts. I'm going to hold my Kuan Yin stone while I do so. And let's just lift each other right now. Just remembering that we are all magnificent. We are all enough. We are all worthy. So hold that. Hold that close to your heart. I am enough, just as I am. I don't need to change. Don't need to be somebody different or something different. I am me, unapologetically a spark of the divine. And I bring that light every day. I shine it forward into the world. And let's lift up those who have asked to be lifted. Let's lift up those on our prayer list. Let's lift up those who maybe are feeling that they're all alone. They don't have any resources. Those that don't understand that there is help in this world, that we have these beautiful angels that come in when we call them in. We have a God that cares. So let's lift our vibration and our frequency, going up, up, up to that higher plane, lifting all of this, the prayer requests, the thoughts of love and healing. Let's lift it and bring it right to the great central sun. And let's lay it down, because we don't need to carry it. We go into trust, faith, belief that our Creator sees and hears every one of our prayers. And they're all answered. Every one of them are answered for the best and highest good of all. It may not be the way we envision it. It may be better. So we leave these prayers without expectation other than the fact that they are seen and they are answered. And then we leave a heart full of gratitude. Thank you, God, for blessings. Thank you for this day. Thank you for your love. And let's breathe that in, receiving the love of the Creator into our hearts so that we have more than plenty to give out to each other, because that's what we do here. We love. So thank you. I love you. Those are the words we use. And I'm going to get our Leo singing that to us. Thank you. I love you. Namaste, y'all.
Good morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready, because today's
Thank you, Charlie, for starting us off. And Marietta, there you are, sweet one. And where in the world are you? Inquiring minds want to know where Marietta and Ed and the fur babies are.
is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning cup full of joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and
Peas in
the
the
pod.
pod, that's us.
Thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Cup full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the trust is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And you can side with us, there is always no space in the pot. For more love, take a spot and get the day started. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of.
Here we go.
There really is no secret.
You simply accept, align, allow. AAA, y'all.
Cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup of joy. Cup of joy. Cup of joy. Give me a cup Give me cup of joy. 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 Give me cup of joy.
That's right, Kathy Hand, the AAA.
Give me cup of joy. Give me cup of joy. Give me cup of joy.
Ooh, thank you, Leo. Thank you, Peas. Now let's go have an amazingly wonderful day, loving on yourself, loving on everyone in your world. No judgment, just love on this beautiful day. Take care, everyone. Stay in your heart. Stay blessed. And I'll see you tomorrow for the afternoon Cuppa Joy tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Love you so much.